Hey guys, it's DJ with DDU, and today we are going to do about a 10-minute video regarding social media leads, why social media, and why, like in the last two videos, Google and YouTube work so seamlessly together. So let me start by giving you the three things that you need to know about social media right off the bat when it comes to sales. Number one, sales do not come from social media. I don't care what you say. Nowhere ever are you going to put stuff up on social media and have people just walk into the dealership and buy a car. Not happening. It doesn't exist. You know, Dino DeLuca and David Lewis training talks about that 20-60-20. You have to understand that 20-60-20 is people and you. Social media kind of works into there, kind of plays into that, but it's not exactly the same. Here's an example. This is how it works. Social media gets you out there. Social media gets you out there fast to an infinite number of people. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's in a positive way. Because that 20% of people who are just going to buy from you, they're going to see you on Facebook, YouTube, Google, etc. That 60% that you need to draw from, that 30% you want to reach, those people are going to see you on social media and they're going to go, I like him, I want to buy from him, and that guest might actually turn into a lead. But that 30% who probably won't buy from you, again, are going to see you. And that 20% who will never buy from you are also going to see you. So you have both sides. Both sides are going to see you. You are not going to turn leads down because of social media, and you're also not going to create leads from social media. I'm sorry, not leads, sales. You're not going to lose sales through social media, and you're not going to generate sales through social media. It's all about leads. You do not sell through social media, you generate leads through social media. And the definition of lead that I'm using here is somebody who sees your stuff and decides that they want to purchase a car, and they call you, or they specifically ask for you. Number two, social media is not a get-rich-quick thing. Okay? You could have 100,000 likes on every single last post. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't. Really doesn't. It honestly doesn't. Interaction online is what is important. If you post something and it's got 30 shares and 400 likes and 1,000 views, that's good. That's good. But that doesn't mean it's going to generate leads. At this point, I want to tell you the 5 steps in social media because this is where it comes into play. Step 1 is creating your own branding. That's where you create your YouTube channel, your Google, your Facebook. You do your own thing. Step 2, okay, then this is the big one. Create an audience. That's where people start seeing your stuff. They like it, they share it, that kind of stuff. That is, when you're getting 100, 200 views, couple likes, maybe 1 or 2 shares, that's creating the audience. Maintaining the audience, step 3, is when that happens with every single video. And yes, it is okay to put $5 to $10 behind your behind your posts to boost them and generate your audience that way. That's perfectly fine. That's fine. It's not cheating. Step 4, turning those views and likes into conversation. You want people to comment on your video, or maybe send you a message, or ask a question, or tag somebody in it, or say something in the comment section. And by the way, saying something in the comments and leaving a comment about the video are 2 different things. Commenting on the video is saying something directly related to the video. Leaving a message in the comments could be, I like brownies and this car reminded me of a brownie. It's not really a comment on the video so much as it's a comment under the video. So, and I'll go into depth on that later. Step 5 is they see the video, they go, I like him, I like what that has to say, I think I want to look more into that. That is a lead. Those are the 5 steps. So, 1, social media does not sell, it generates leads. 2, views and likes don't count for much. It's interaction. When people comment and say, hey, nice video, way to go, or hey, you're a celebrity, that's an interaction. That's what you want to see. And you have to interact back. Okay? When somebody sends you a message or comments on it or shares or whatever, make sure you immediately get back to them and say, hey, thank you for that, or I had so much fun filming it, yeah. Or if somebody sees something and says, if this happens, if I come by a call, will I have to be on this? You don't have to be, but if you'd like to, I'd be more than happy to put you on here. It's interaction. Number 3 with social media. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. If you post something on LinkedIn, it could be on Twitter by the morning. That's the way it works. Everything is connected. It doesn't mean you have to have every single last social media under the roof. You don't have to. You just have to understand everything's connected, and you have to be very well aware that if you post something on Twitter or Facebook, it can immediately go to every other social site in a matter of hours and get out there to everybody. And the point for number 3 there is it can kill you just as fast as it can make you. If you start arguing, and I've seen this happen, if you start arguing with people on social media and you start presenting yourself as a person you wouldn't want to interact with, that will cut your legs off in a heartbeat. And there's very little room for error on social media, but keep in mind, all it does is get you out there faster. It can make you or break you immediately. That's how social media works. Now, let me give you a quick history of how everything's connected, and when you're doing your Google Plus and Google profile and YouTube, why that all works. Okay. In 2006, on November 13th, Google bought YouTube for $1.65 billion. How is that relevant? 2 reasons. Reason number 1, the date and time Google bought YouTube isn't really relevant. How much they bought isn't really relevant. But I like saying that fact because I think it's cool. But the fact that Google owns YouTube is incredibly relevant, because that means with your Google profile, you get Google Plus, which I'll go into later, and you get your YouTube channel. YouTube is directly related to Google. They work together so seamlessly, and this is important because in the next video I'll show you how you can use Google Plus, YouTube, and everything combined into one. Google Plus and YouTube combined into one setting. When you create your Google account, you've created your YouTube account. And as I showed you in the last video, you have to create your YouTube channel, but the account's there because you can use your Google account. So Google owns YouTube. Anything you do on Google crosses over to YouTube. Whenever you post something on YouTube, it shows up on Google. The more you do of both, it works back and forth. You add Facebook in the mix, suddenly you can be out there everywhere. Facebook plays into this in a slightly different sense. Both YouTube and Google are partnered with Facebook to allow easy and seamless transferring of information. But understand, when you put something on YouTube, it almost automatically shows up in Google. When you put something on Facebook, it also almost automatically shows up on Google. However, YouTube and Facebook are not combined. So you got YouTube here, Facebook here, and Google is connecting YouTube and Google. So Facebook is kind of the oddball, but they do work together. If you have images like profile pictures and whatnot on Facebook, and you go to Google and you type in your name, you actually might see some of your pictures from Facebook show up in Google. I don't know how they work the analytics that way, but they do. That's how it functions. And I'm going to take about another minute here, and then we'll move on to the next video. And the last thing I wanted to explain was that Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Pinterest, Yagawi, Uvu, Skype, I don't know them all. I'm running out. I use YouTube, Google, and Facebook. That's the holy grail. Those 3 are the holy grail. You can do Twitter if you want. Twitter is an amazing blog place. You can do Twitter if you want. I don't do Twitter. I mean, I do a little bit, but I'm not a Twitter guy. I'm a Facebook guy. You can also do Instagram. If you like taking lots of pictures, like of vehicles coming in and of guests, Instagram is a fantastic, absolutely fantastic resource for that. And I'm going to find out really quick, because I think Facebook bought Instagram, but I'm not completely sure. But I know the 2 are together. Okay. So yeah, Facebook technically bought Instagram, actually just in the last couple of years. In a sense, it didn't completely buy Instagram, but Facebook works with Instagram the same way Google works with YouTube. I just want to make sure Facebook owned Instagram. I'm not sure about that, because there are different policies. Don't worry about it, but because Facebook and Instagram work so closely together, they link so easily, and I'll show you that at some point. But that's probably enough to get your brain swirling for right now. That's just basically what you have to know for this segment. Those are connected. Now this next video, we're going to jump in. I'm going to show you how to get your Google Plus profile started, edited, created. I'm going to show you how to do the Facebook page, edited, created, and by that time, you should have some questions for me regarding any social network whatsoever. I just want to get the Holy Grail out of the way immediately, and you guys can start interacting with me on my page and see how social media works. I'm DJ with DJ's Digital University, and I will see you somewhere online.